my name is Eliseo Cheo Torres. I'm a professor and an administrator at the University of New Mexico. And today's program is part of a series of classes that the university offers on traditional medicine of Mexico and the Southwest. And today we have a colleague of mine and a friend, if you come here, Dr. Torres Arizmendi from Mexico City. Dr. Torres has been part of the faculty at the University of New Mexico for a few years. He went back to Mexico, but he comes back once a year to help in this summer class on traditional medicine. And the theme of today's class is Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, and how you can heal grief. And this is a wonderful tradition in Mexico. We're going to relive this with some students that are in the class that you'll meet in a few minutes. But with that, I'd like to ask Dr. Torres Arizmendi to tell us a little bit about this wonderful theme and how you can deal with grief in Dia de los Muertos. So, Selmo, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you, UNM, for inviting me again to work on this incredible academic effort to promote the traditional medicine. The Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead in Mexico, is one of the most strongest celebrations we have in Mexico. Why on October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd, we celebrate death? See, it's strange. Maybe we can think that it is strange, but it is not for us. According to the cosmovision of the native cultures that we still have in Mexico, there was this cosmovision was formed of a system in which many gods we have in this cosmovision. According to this culture, we have the two kinds of worlds in this part of the country, especially the center and south and southeast of Mexico. And these two worlds, the first one was the horizontal one, which is the earth, and the other world was the vertical one. The vertical one was formed of 13 skies and 9 underworlds. What we do, or what these cultures used to do in Mexico before the Spaniards came in the 15th century, is that they celebrated during these 3 days, according to their calendar, but it matches to the calendar we have now. They celebrate the coming of those who passed away. What do we do when we have visitors at home? Of course, we have to invite them meals, we have to invite them to drink, we take them for a tour to the city, we dance with them, we talk to them. In a few words, we celebrate with them. According to the tradition, during these 3 days, October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd, what we do is we celebrate because the gods let them to come to us and come and be here with us and share with us. Of course, they don't do it in the physical way, but they do it in the spiritual way, which is marvelous. So, we celebrated with them in 2 different ways. Physically, because we have action. We, at home, we place altars. We go to the cemeteries. We place altars at the cemeteries as well. In these altars, we place meals that they used to like. We place drinks. We place candles. We place flowers. We place pictures. We place skulls, as you can see. And then, we celebrated in that spiritual. It's a spirit-to-spirit celebration. We do it for 3 days, and then we let them go back again. How this helps with the healing process? It helps in 2 different ways. On one side is on the personal side, which is to help the person working on the grief, on the different stages of the grief, in which if we had a block emotion with somebody who has passed away, we know that we have during these 3 days the opportunity to work on these blocked emotions. So we can share with, we share with them, we live with them again in this spiritual way, and we're happy because we're with them again. This is one way. The other way is the collective way, the collective side of the celebration. That means the whole population of the center and south and southeast of Mexico, we got together and celebrate them, and we welcome them back to earth. This is the way we can relate the Day of the Death celebration to the healing process, to help the person or the people to deal with the grief. I would like to, well, maybe you're going to see some pictures now on your screen, and some pictures that I have seen before of different times where Dr. Torres and I have been to Mexico in some parts of Mexico, and been in different parts celebrating, for example, in Michoacán, in Oaxaca, in Estado de Mexico, in Mexico City, in Cuernavaca. We have been in many places looking for different ways of celebrating, and we have realized that they're pretty similar with the same root, which is marvelous. I would like to invite you to now to see how we celebrated here in this stage with the students of the class, and we're going to organize the altar in this table. So would you please come and set the altar for us, please? Okay. Maybe we can open it, no?
Yeah, I don't know how to use it. I need a prop with cookies.
Okay, that's what I'm worried.
This is yours. No, that one's not mine. Esto se abre, no se deja.
Está bien así, no hay problema. Cuidado.
I'd like to invite all of the students to please come up here on the stage and around here, because we're going to talk a little bit about this, and we may ask you to give us some comments of what you experienced today.
Hay que explicarlo primero, ¿no?
So, and maybe Dr. Anselmo can explain a little bit about what we are doing, and then have you make some comments, a few of you. So please come and stand behind us and around us. This looks beautiful. This is just wonderful. It's incredible what you have created here to honor your loved ones.
As you can see in this altar, we have many elements of the altar of Dia de los Muertos. For example, first we have candles. That means the light, okay? The light that they come through. We have flowers, okay, which is an offer to them. We have, for example, we have toys. That means that we're celebrating the children who has passed away, okay? We have toys over there. We have meal, which means that we're receiving the people who used to like, for example, in this case, cookies. But we can also have mole. but we can also have enchiladas. We can also have a bottle of tequila. We have, yeah, of course, I mean, because we're receiving them. We have visitors, they're our guests. No? We have bread, for example. At the same time, we have pictures of those who has passed away, which is that we're bringing their souls and being here with us. We also have a specific papel, which is made especially for these days, which is the papel picado, full of colors, and we place all over the altar. Be careful with the lights, which is placed all over the altar, which means the party, okay? And also we have the skulls, no, which means the death, Also, we use sugar skulls. After the celebration, we eat them because they're made of sugar. And as you can see, we also make some specific coffins of toys, of paper. We play with them. This is a way we play with death. We celebrate it. For us, death is another way of life. It's not the end. And that is the one point that is very specifically on the stage of the grief, because it's not over. We can be with them every year or whenever we want. We just have to place an altar. In this case, in the particular level, we can make it every year, but in the collective way, we do it just once per year during 3 days. So I would like to ask our students for testimonies of this celebration of today, for example, and how they feel about it.
Maybe 2 or 3 students, if you want to make a comment.
Yes. My husband died 7 years ago. Somewhere down here is his photograph, and he was a cigar smoker, much to my dismay. But I put a cigar in front of him, and I'd like to say that, grief is never over. And today, as everyone was assembling their own personal altars, I had the proverbial lump in my throat. I felt the presence of spirits, and I felt the honoring and the respect that all of you were giving to those that you love.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
This is the way we thank them. This is a butterfly applause. We don't want to close the energy this way. We want to open the energy. So thank you. Anybody else?
My grandmother Maria, she was also a smoker. I have a picture of a cigarette there. She also loved flowers, and she had a beautiful garden, and so this kind of brings back good memories of her, and I found this a wonderful experience as well.
Wonderful. Thank you.
you.
Anybody else on this side?
I'll say my father lived with me the last 10 years of his life, and his favorite flower were gladiolus. His favorite color was red. And he was a Boy Scout master for most of my life, so I have some pictures of him there, and his favorite dog, Jackson, is in it with him. So today's ceremony brought the closure, and I was able to cry for the first time since his death 12 months ago.
Oh, bless you.
Liberation.
Yes.
Liberation.
Anybody? Yes, right over here.
I have pictures of my padres when they were young, and of course separately mis antepasados, my grandparents, uncles, aunts, and so forth. And it has allowed me, I lost them both to illness, and it's been very hard. Once your parents are gone, you feel like you're abandoned. You're an orphan, una orfana. Y no sabes which way to go. And you don't have anybody to guide you. And so this is a way for me to come back to honor them and to tell them I'm still going. And I still have my family, and I have my daughter who's there on the other side with the baby coming on the way, and it's a way to be able to bring back the new generations coming on.
Bless you.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Somebody else?
One more comment?
I'd like to share.
Okay.
Okay, we have two of them. We'll have two of them, here and then you. Okay, please.
A picture of my wonderful angel dog, Silver. I adopted her about a year before I was diagnosed with breast cancer. She got me through the cancer experience in a way that no human could through medicine or hugs or love. She loved me unconditionally and helped me to understand the grieving process, to grieve my life before cancer, and made me smile and helped me recover in a way that honestly no one else could. What this process today helped me to do was realize that she is fulfilling another purpose up in heaven, teaching other angel dogs how to work with us two-leggeds to get through experiences like cancer.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, pets are part of this grieving process, definitely. Do you have an?
Yeah. This is a billfold from my father.
This one.
And he carried it with him during World War II, and it has the original pictures of it of my mother and his mother, and there's a picture of him, and then my grandparents on both sides are there, and they were all homesteaders in South Dakota. But what I would really like to say was what this experience was for me was to give me a deep appreciation of this culture, because this is not something we do in my culture. And I had a young man come up to me and ask me about the pictures during the time that we did it. And I was telling him about all my relatives, and it was so magical just because he came up and asked me to tell my story. And nobody's ever done that before. And so I can see how this is such an important celebration in this culture.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Just one more right here.
Hi. Right in the front where you see Semper Fi.
Right there, the red one.
My dad was in the U.S. Marine Corps. He quit school at age 17 to be in the World War II, and he went to Iwo Jima, which was one of the fiercest battles ever. And he just tapped my shoulder and said, "Please tell them," because he was so incredibly proud. I have to say that even with Alzheimer's all his life, even at the very end, he could tell stories about that. And he loved my mom dearly, as he's with my mom right now, who died 13 years ago. And I just feel very loved and protected. Right
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you for your testimonials. And Dr. Torres, thank you for your excellent presentation. And thank you for being with us to celebrate Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. Goodbye.